So I'm here with Tom Bassett. Would you call yourself one of the lead producers of the EYEREZ event here tonight?
I am.
Excellent, and just so grateful that you had this vision and made it happen and brought together such an incredible team of both artists and musicians and just so many groups and vendors and beautiful leaders from this community have all magnetized to this creation. How are you feeling right now about this?
I feel so enlivened and my heart opened just from experiencing this pleasure and bliss that I see echo out through the crowd. And it's my hope that that bliss echoes out into the world. And I hope that this is a seed to help crystallize this new paradigm we're moving towards. And that is one where we appreciate art in all of its forms, because I feel the more we appreciate art, the more people get to practice their art, and the more beautiful this world becomes. The more beautiful things that we can experience and share with each other.
Wow, it's beautiful, and definitely exactly what you just said is manifesting. The people that I've had a chance to speak with tonight are all just incredibly moved by this experience. Every single person, including Alex Gray, was inspired and had their consciousness expanded, seeing the next edge of what's possible. So let's just start off if you guys could just introduce yourselves to the world and say something about being at this EYEREZ event that Android Jones is putting on.
All right. Well, I'm Alex Gray, and this is
Allyson Gray,
and we're very excited to have witnessed the premiere of the EYEREZ project that Android Jones has been working on with an awesome crew of animators to bring his work into a new dimension. And I think the mandala of the planetarium is the ideal setting for kind of a reframing of our inner cosmos, and that's why the planetarium is a excellent setting for that. And it takes it outside of normal entertainment, puts it into the kind of a realm of more education in a way. And so we're naturally inclined to be elevated and more enlightened than just entertained. And so the worlds that Android is describing are the worlds familiar to visionaries from all traditions. And that is this mystic, imaginal realm where the archetypes exist and are contactable. And he's brought to a heaven to earth multiple times through his witnessing of these kind of angelic composite beings that are the divine feminine or the sacred masculine that are coming forward with integrating all kinds of nature forms and technological forms. And so he's mapping a new kind of visionary dimension for all of us, and I was just super excited to see it.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Allyson, do you have anything to add?
I think we're entering a new level of creative manifestation in the realm of the moving image. And I think it's very important for the visionary art movement to enter all genres, and this is a very important way to contact the most people through the beauty of visionary imagist painting art.
Yeah.
There's a lot of abstraction in it too, but
Absolutely. I think that that's, in his work, he tries to work a balance of his design and abstract kind of skills along with the portrait. I think that seeing the face, and that every face we see is really the face of God. I mean, in my kind of philosophy. And so when we see the face, it's, and so often portraying God-like beings, that comes through very beautifully.
Met this guy out there, and it worked out. Every once in a while, these strange last-minute kind of opportunities came, and I went and I visited them, and I saw their studio in Thailand, and I really liked the intentions they had for what they wanted to do with this type of project moving forward, and they liked the art, and I had sent them, I think, some images or something that they got offline, and they showed me like a little demo in a smaller 15-foot dome that they created, and it was quite remarkable to see that. And as I was there, I was just recording a little video of it on my phone, and later that night, part of the being a modern artist these days, it doesn't hurt to have kind of a social media presence. You gotta feed the algorithm, so I post something about once a day, once every other day, and sometimes it's harder when you're traveling. And I was like going to bed, and I was like, I had to post something. It's like, I guess I could post this video, and I just like sent the video. It was just like a real handshaky video, and I posted that while I was out there, and the video got, 600,000 views. It got like 1 million, 2 million. I mean, the stats went crazy, like nothing I'd really posted before. And I showed that to Swami. I call him, his name is George, but he goes by Swami. He's the leader of these. So the studio is also a Krishna ashram. Okay. So all the artists that work there are all devotees of Krishna, which I think it adds a lot to their community collectiveness. They don't have as many distractions, and they're all really kind of unified on the same team. But when I showed Swami, I'm like, you got to check this video out. And he was just like, yeah, I know, of course. He was like stone-faced, like wasn't surprised one bit. He's like, yeah, that's what's going to happen. He's like, he kind of has it all. It's a very, very interesting gentleman, this Swami. The character, we call him the gangster Swami.
Very magical.
Auspicious. Yeah, it was definitely really auspicious. And so I gave them just the whole collection of a lot of the high-res files I had and layered files. And I had also, there's a woman named Tanya who I'd been working with for years. She's from Russia, and I met her through a group of friends that invited me out there years ago to do different events, and she's just an amazing animator, works a lot with After Effects, and she's taken a few of my images from 2D to like a moving cinematic kind of experience. And I just thought, like, well, they've got a really great team, but I know this is a woman that's really familiar with the work that I do and has a real passion for animating it. So I told Swami's like, she's in Goa, you need to get her and give her a job and set her at the studio for a month. And yeah, they just went at it. And,
that's so incredible.
Yeah, and I had never seen it until like 3 days ago.
Wow.
Because the content, they had to deliver the content on a hard drive, they had to render it here for 7 days, and so it was just a few days before the event where we actually got to see how it was going to turn out.
Gosh, I'd love to know how that felt for you.
So crazy. I was really nervous.
Yeah.
Because we already sold all these tickets. I was like, oh man.
That's some real trust.
It's a lot of trust.
Yeah.
Well, as an artist, it's a life of gambling. You gamble with I gamble with my reputation all the time. Mm-hmm. We're doing a big 60-foot dome at lightning in a bottle, and when I say yes, we'll do that, it's a gamble. I have no idea if it's going to happen or not. You have to rely on all these things and people coming together, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But this was another educated gamble, and yeah.
How do you feel about it? Yeah.
No, it was amazing. I mean, being there, because I think that I hold myself to like pretty high standards. I'm pretty picky about what I like. I consume a lot of interesting type of media, so I have a really good feel for what's current and what people like and what kind of different trends are. And so I kind of prepared myself to be like, okay, it's going to be what it is. That's going to be great. And as soon as it started up, it went right into that, like the animation portion, like the second part. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, at first I just couldn't really believe like what I was seeing, because it,
I describe it to people for the show. It's like it's not really a movie, you know. It's not kind of like a narrative. It's not just you know, it's not like a little animation. But when I saw it, what I felt was like, oh yeah, this is the future. This is how the images I made, like this is like an ultimate form of experience to them. Because, and what I was saying too, it's like, as an artist and the process that I work with, you know, using monitors and technology and electro mineral type of apparatuses, the monitor I see, it's not like a rectangular canvas I'm putting paint on, but it's really this. It's like this window I have into this other world of imagination and creativity, and it's my little porthole. I'm looking out and I can make it go anywhere. But each of the images, I'm only able to take that and distill the breadth of that experience into a rectangle, which is pretty limiting. You think of infinite consciousness, and art's about a bunch of squares and rectangles. Like, it's kind of funny that it works like that, or at least, you know, 2D art.
Or had been working
like that. And yeah, so when I saw this and just seeing it everywhere, seeing it like above me and move and how it kind of looped around, I was just like, oh, wow, this isn't just watching a painting. This is like being inside of one of my paintings, and it just kept going from one to the other. And I was pretty mesmerized by it. Like, I definitely got like chills all over, because it just felt like, you know, when you see new things, you're like, oh, that's the thing. Like, that's the thing that I should have thought of, you know, years ago, and it never occurred to me until I'm seeing this thing right now. And so it's a new thing.
It felt like a visual transmission.
Yeah.
Like, that I felt on my whole body. And we also were chatting about how it felt like the whole community who was in there having that experience, we were like on a trip together.
Yeah.
You know, we were in this resonant field that was beyond words. Like you said, it was beyond a narrative. And then at the same time, it was like a deeper narrative than you could even have with words.
Yeah, and it really puts you, you're not just like, you're not like looking through the window at a painting. Like, you become part of it, you know. You are you're like kind of like the main character in it as it's happening all around you. So, I mean, it makes you look at all of my other pieces. Like, I think they might work on one of these pieces too. It's just like, wow, I want to, like, this is cool, seeing of this angle, but I'd love to like move around. And I think that, you know, I think that's a lot of the promises of these new mediums that are being developed. You know, what we're doing in here is going to translate really easy into virtual reality, which will just be the next 8th mass medium, whether you like it or not. And when that gets online, that'll change everything too. And so this is actually a really nice kind of lead-in, sort of like a gateway into that, because it's not just goggles on your head, because it is actually pretty neat to like be there and know that you're having this experience with all these other people, especially if you like bring your friends. You know, it's nice because when you see cool things like this, you want to share it with people that you care about. So I think it really does have, I'm very excited, you know, as artists. I think a lot of us are always like looking for the next series or what we're going to put our energy into and how to pursue. And like, yeah, after this, it was, you know, after I saw this, it's like, oh, like, why am I wasting all my time like printing out canvases, like all the money on animators, like we're gonna like bet it all.
It's the next frontier.
Yeah. double down on the dome. Yeah.
And, you know, to the virtual reality piece, in a way, I don't know if you heard me mention it to Tom before, but having artists like Desert Dwellers or Wrapped submit their DJ sets for tonight, but without having to actually be here, in a way, that's virtual reality. Like, we're still having this physical human experience, but we were thinking, so many people have talked about having this show at planetariums across the country.
Yeah. And,
you know, that is a beautiful way for you to be able to be sharing your art. And people were talking about how this is actually revitalizing the planetarium economy, you know, that there aren't people really coming to see space shows all that often, so why not start cross-pollinating? So how would you describe this EYEREZ experience thus far, and how do you see it kind of rippling out into the world?
I would describe the EYEREZ experience so far as transformational, evolutionary. I mean, we're on a giant dome that could as well be our minds projecting images, kind of like we do in reality. We're looking through another lens up at these beautiful images created by the master, Android Jones. And I'm just really grateful that we've all come together to experience these moments of accelerated change and evolution for all of humanity. And that's what we're doing here. We're expressing our art together and our love.
My experience thus far with EYEREZ is showing me that they are definitely a network that helps us move from, we've been using the term visionary for so long, and it's here now. The vision is here. We don't even have to be visionary anymore. The vision is real, it's manifesting, and EYEREZ is showing that.
Powerful.
And I'm here in it, and it's such an honor.
EYEREZ.
If this were to continue and expand, how do you ladies see that happening?
I see this happening monthly. And we were actually just talking about that, and they were saying that they're going to go for it.
Nice.
Apparently, they've never seen the planetarium this packed and popping and so on fire, so
awesome.
I'm sure they want us back.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And they were talking about possibly having other planetariums around the country where this could go on tour as well.
Oh, wow.
So really expanding this, and it's so good for the economy, and like having it at a university where students can be exposed to this culture and this consciousness.
Yeah, we were just talking about that and how important it is to hit where people are there to learn, and they need to resonate more in their schools because their classes aren't maybe, you know, as resonant out of the festival culture. You go home and then you go back to school and you're taking math and science and arithmetic, and then there's the planetarium show at your school this weekend, and you get to meet up with your Harmonious Humanity crew.
Yes, and I believe
your Star Alliance.